In this video, I want to discuss the idea of a civilization and what exactly that means. I want you to imagine that you and some of your friends are stuck on a desert island to live. However, you can bring anything you want with you. I imagine you would want to bring all sorts of modern technology that would help you either get off the island or at least make living there comfortable. Well, if you did have to stay on that island, even with all of the technology, the question is, would that make you and your friends a civilization? It definitely would not. When we say an ancient people are a civilization, what we are saying is that their society had some very specific things that set them apart from some people living on an island, a lone village, or some hunters and gatherers wandering about the countryside. First, a civilization had to have an organized central government. This was more than a king or a pharaoh, and included laws, ways to collect taxes, ways to defend the civilization's populace, and to make sure that there was enough food and water. Second, a civilization had to have a complex religion. Often, these religions were polytheistic, which means they believed in multiple gods. This involved having temples, priests, and a system of public ceremonies and sacrifices that were very important to the people. Third, a civilization needed something we call the division of labor. When people specialize in their jobs, for example, bricklaying, trading, or weaving, they tended to be more productive. Higher productivity meant more goods and money in a society. Fourth, each civilization had separate social classes. Nobles and priests were often at the top of a civilization's social pyramid. The middle usually comprised merchants, bankers, various people of the middle classes, even scribes. And the lower classes, including peasants and farmers, were at the very bottom of the social pyramid. Fifth, civilizations had some sort of art or architecture. Temples were often the largest buildings in a city and dominated people's lives. The temple complex could even be a meeting place for business transactions on a daily basis. Art could have included paintings, carvings, and even fine jewelry. Sixth, each civilization built large public works projects that were meant to provide for the people. Examples of these could be bridges, large dams, road systems, and even walls for protection. These buildings served a purpose and reinforced the power of the government and its ability to protect and oversee the people. Seventh, and most importantly, a civilization had to have a system of writing. Writing allowed priests and officials to keep detailed records. It allowed merchants to keep track of trades. It allowed treaties, marriages, and all sorts of technological advancements. Each of these 7 characteristics served a critical purpose in setting apart a civilization such as Mesopotamia or Egypt from hunters and gatherers or small villages. Now, these characteristics all apply to early civilizations. Today, we might add a few to the list, maybe technology, for example. However, understanding these categories and how civilizations all around the world had them in common is important to understanding how humans developed and organized themselves. In fact, though today it's 2,000 years later from many of these early civilizations, we can still find examples of all of these categories today.
Good morning, class 4. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. It's your SST class. Today we will discuss about the chapter number 4, Early Civilizations in Pakistan, page number 35. Watch the video and listen carefully.
Indus Valley Civilization. One of the earliest urban civilizations in India, and in fact the world, was the Indus Valley Civilization, also called the Harappan culture. About 5,000 years ago, a group of nomads traveling from Sumeria, the present-day Iran, entered northwest India near present-day Karachi. These nomads found a land so richly fertile by the banks of the river Indus that they settled there without hesitation. This area was abundant with water, fodder, and fuel. Over the next 1,000 years, the immigrants spread over an area of 500,000 square miles. Excavations prove that the level of urban planning and architecture prevalent here was incomparable. The anchor for this civilization lay in the beautiful twin cities of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. The name Mohenjo-daro means Mound of the Dead in Sindhi. The city was built around 2600 BC. These cities were made up of bricks, either baked mud or wood bricks. The baked bricks were a superior version of the sun-dried bricks used in other civilizations. The amazing part was that the workers made every brick of the same size. The type of brick used ensured the durability of the buildings. Despite a population of about 30,000, the city had one of the best sanitation systems. Each house had a well from which it drew water. From a bathing room, the wastewater was directed into covered drains along the main streets. Since all the streets were well drained, the city remained dry and clean. This is evidence of a very modern method of sanitation and sewerage. Mohenjo-daro was primarily an agricultural city. It was situated below the great mountain ranges, with rivers flowing abundantly through the land, depositing rich, fertile soil. This made evident the fact that agriculture was the main occupation. Further proof of this is the presence of a large well, a central marketplace, and several granaries in the city. Near the granary was the great public bathhouse known as the Great Bath. Steps led down to a pool lined with bricks in a huge courtyard. The beautiful bath area had a layer of natural tar. This was to prevent it from leaking. In the center of the bath area was a swimming pool. The purpose of the Great Bath was assumed to be for ritualistic bathing. This is a practice followed by Hindus even today. Houses were well protected from noise, odor, and thieves. Each house opened out onto inner courtyards and smaller lanes, so it was safe. Although some houses were larger than the others, the city seemed to promote an equal society, for all houses had the same kind of access to water and drainage. The city had an impressive defense structure in place as well. Though it lacked outer walls, there were defensive towers in the west and south. Since other Indus cities had stronger defense systems in place, it is speculated that perhaps Mohenjo-daro was only an administrative center.
Thank you, class. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. It's your SST class. First, you have to make a title page, chapter number 4, Early Civilization in Pakistan, page number 35. And then write content, true and false, question answers, worksheet pad activities, and one word answers and activities. Now start your work. True and false. The Mehergarh Valley civilization was excavated by a team of Swiss archaeologists. False. The Swan River Valley is in the northwest of the Khushab district of Punjab province. It's true. Number 3. The Mehergarh settlement was near the Bulan Pass. True. Number 4. The Indus Valley civilization ended in 1700 BC. It's false. Number 5. The people of Indus Valley were peaceful farmers. It's true. Now, it's question answers. Question number 1. In which province was each of these civilizations located? Number 1. Mehergarh is in Balochistan. Number 2. Swan Valley. it is in KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Number 3, Harappa, it is in Punjab. Number 4, Mohenjo-daro, it is in Sindh. Question number 2, what led to the discovery of Mohenjo-daro and when was it discovered? Answer, a British archaeologist, Mortimer Wheeler, discovered Mohenjo-daro in 1922 when people living near Larkana found some old coins and bricks. Question number 3, what is meant by civilization? Answer, a civilization is the way of life of a community during a particular period of time in a particular part of the world. Now, it is in one-word answer. One-word answers. Number 1, the Swan Valley civilization dates back to, answer is Stone Age. Where is Mohenjo-daro located? Answer, bank on river Indus near Larkana. Number 3, the people of Mohenjo-daro used to trade with, answer is Mesopotamia. Number 4, what is the reason behind the destruction of Mohenjo-daro? Aryan invasions. Number 5, Harappa civilization is located in, answer Sahiwal district. Now its activity number 1 is done in your journal. Complete the following. Number 1 column is civilization and number 2 column is artifacts. Number 1 is Swan Valley, stone tools such as axes. Number 2, mehergar, ornaments made of seashells, painted poetry, ivory works and clay figurines. Number 3, Mohenjo-daro, coins, poetry, cooking pots, jewelry, tools, cotton fabric. Number 3, Harappa, copper and bronze pots, jewelry, carved seals and figurines and statues. It's your copy work. Now it's your worksheet pad work is on page number 81. It's your homework, and page number 82 it also in your homework. Now done it. Thank you, class. Now class 4, here is your worksheet pad work on page number 80. Choose the correct word from the box to complete the sentences. And question number 2, what do the following abbreviations stands for? AH after Hijra, AD Anno Domini, BC before Christ. Do this work by yourself. Thank you, class.